Lead Trading with Stocks to Trade, Tim Bowen back with you. Going to go over just kind of a quick tip and technique I recommend using the Stocks to Trade Paper Trading module for to learn and refine your short selling strategy. So the beauty of Stocks to Trade's real-time paper trading platform is you can simulate very close to reality actual trades. It is real time. You will only get filled on orders based on actual trades being made. Now, obviously, your trades aren't going to the exchange, so it isn't exactly the same. But if you're trying to buy 1,000 shares, you will not get filled until 1,000 shares print. So it is very similar on volume as well as price action. Now, the great thing about it, especially the paper trading module, is you can test strategies that you either don't know how to or are trying to refine. And what is the best one in my opinion to test and experiment with without using real money? That is short selling. I mean, short selling is a very potentially profitable strategy. It's a strategy I've used for years and years and years. Almost all successful traders short sell a lot or quite frequently. But the thing is short selling is confusing. There's unlimited potential losses. You make a few mistakes on an order, all of a sudden, instead of losing $100, you just lost $1,000. It's also just confusing for the newbie. I mean, I won't get into the grand explanation of short selling in this video, but you can Google it. Just know that you are selling before you buy in anticipation that the stock price will go down, and then you sell at a high price, then ideally buy back at a lower price. So you're still buying and selling, it's just the order is reversed. So it is really something that can be tricky, and again, you've just got buy and sell buttons in most of your brokerage platforms. It doesn't say click this to short sell. You just sell shares that you do not have. Now, that is what I want to go over here is the best way to simulate short selling is to actually see if shares are available. Again, not to get too into details of the mechanics of short selling, but not all stocks are shortable. You may see something that's up 1,000% and think, oh wow, this is going to be a great short. But if there are no borrows, if your broker doesn't have the borrows, you cannot short sell it. No matter how great the setup looks, you can't short it. So what I recommend, and I'll put this link in the show notes, is using the Interactive Brokers Locate tool. The great thing about this, Interactive Brokers is a great broker, but whether or not you have an account there, you can use this as a way to simulate your paper short selling. So Interactive Brokers has this front-facing web page that's updated near real time for share availability of stocks. So again, it's a big long link, but I'll put it in the show notes. Once you go there, you can type in a ticker. I've been shorting CENX the last few days, so I can type the ticker in. It gives me obviously the company name, and then I can check availability. So this tells me there's 4,900,000 shares to short as of 2 p.m. today. So that tells me this is a freely shortable stock. There's plenty of shares. There'd be no problem with me short selling 1,000 shares or 500 shares. So now I have a stock that can actually be shorted. Again, we're just simulating, so whether or not you have an account with Interactive Brokers, which I do recommend them, this is just a way to actually see if the stock is shortable. So then I go back to my paper trading. I'm basically, you can see I've got a line, kind of anything under $15 is a potential short entry for me with risk probably just above 15. So I will actually go ahead and execute an order here. So I'm going to sell. Now I will actually then hit the bid button because I want to get filled right away to show you guys. So what that does is no matter when I hit the submit button, it will execute a sell order, a sell limit order on the bid price, which based on volume should fill me relatively quickly. Once we get 1,000 shares that print at that price, I'll get filled. So then once it fills, you will see, of course I happen to enter an order when there's no volume. It's midday, I guess. But once the order gets filled, you'll see my position size, and then you'll have a real-time profit and loss. So then once the order, okay, so now you can see I got filled. So I sold 1,000 shares at 14.82. You can see I've got a little red triangle on my chart, tells me where I shorted it. I can now see my remaining equity, my position, the position value. Again, your value of the position will be a negative number. Then when you buy it back, it will be a positive number, and the difference will be your profit or your loss. So then real time, again, that's a nice thing. You can see I'm down, was down $5. Now I'm up $5, but stock is starting to fade. You know, normally I would look to short these later in the day like it is. And then when I want to get out, I then just buy. Again, I can set any limit price, or if I want out instantly, I can just buy on the ask side that will close that order out. So feel free to submit any more questions, but that's what I wanted to show. A lot of guys get, you know, all, oh, I'll short this, I'll short that, I can short all these stocks, but the thing with using the interactive brokers tool is you can actually get much closer to realism. And it's one thing to say, oh, I shorted some 60-cent stock that went to 10 cents. If the stock never actually is shortable, you're not really doing a true simulation. So feel free to submit comments if you have more questions, but hopefully this guy's helped you with refining your short selling. And I really recommend, if you've never shorted anything or you're new to it, paper trade shorting. It is different. So definitely test it. Get it to where you feel comfortable before you start putting real money on the line. Thanks, guys.